For joining us here in the charts. It is the Market Beast. We're going to take a quick look at the S&P 500. We're going to breeze through our infamous five if you've been following us closely and make sense of this, or kind of do a really quick update on our last video about the S&P 500 to make sure that we're all crystal clear. And we're hopefully going to do this in a short video. So let's get into it, guys. Welcome back, loyal family. If you're new here, we only explore price action. Thanks for sticking around, all my loyal subscribers. Let's dive right into the charts here. Sure. So today's March the 14th, 2022, in the previous close. We'll start with the, again, we're just going to breeze through the infamous five. The NASDAQ, the previous close is $13,301.83, slightly negative 2.1% for the day. All right. And if you are new, just to kind of briefly explain to you, we were following these indexes, and I think one's an ETF, by simply measuring the Fibonacci retracement levels, where we took the low. Okay, whoop, can't see that. Sorry, pardon unprofessionalism. The low, okay, and then we took the high to get our Fibonacci levels, okay, and we were just simply focusing more precisely the blue line, but the critical level was the red line, and obviously the price action was below the red line. So since as you're going to see as we go over the instruments here, they're all below the red line. Okay, so the NASDAQ is there. It's below the red line, which is at $14,600. If you look at the S&P 500, the same thing as we did our measurements. Previous close, 4,200. I'm sorry, 4,000. Yes, 200. And $4.32, slightly negative 1.2%. Okay, for the close. It's below $44,341. So there's an X for the S&P 500. We got the Dow Jones. $32,944.20, slightly negative 0.6% for the close. It is below $34,008. X for the Dow Jones. Okay. We also got the SPY here, $420.07 close, 1.2% lower on the close. And of course, it is below the red line, 432. We got an X there. And last but not least, the SDOW. Okay. The SDOW, I was able to measure the previous resistance level. $33.31 was the close, up 1.9% for the day. Okay. All right, so that red line, guys, it is above the red line. So we need the SDOW below this red line, which is 29.50. It is above it. So yeah, I just wanted to breeze through that to show everyone X's are across the board. So that means you have to expect the price to continue lower, assuming that if there's like some sort of a push, right? Like if, let's just say, because it looks like the markets may open a little bit higher today. Let's just say there's a push to the upside. All right. Even if it gets as high as the critical level and it starts to have a little bit of trouble there, no, that's the worst thing you want to see, because what's going to happen is it's called a sell order saturation is what I call it. And they're just picking up more sell orders, making the impulse leg to the downside more aggressive, if that makes sense. Because the only thing I'm looking for is a higher low. And what that would essentially be is the price action taking a pause and turning around and finding resistance at the previous level of support and then continuing lower. All right. So if there is going to be a bleed off or a move down, which I guess is the more preferred term, or you just want to see the markets just slowly go to the downside, just kind of that gradual move to the downside. No real aggressive bullish counter moves, unless it's a true turnaround. If it's going to turn around, right, and it's an aggressive move to the upside, it needs to start breaking above the barriers, or at least the previous barrier, which I'm referring to as the previous level of support, right? We're looking at, is this S&P? No, this is SPY. Let's take a pull up the S&P 500, because that's what we're going to talk about. So yeah, like let's just say, again, if there is going to be a bullish counter move, and by the way, if I'm sounding bearish, I'm just going over the story. I'm not necessarily bullish nor bearish on the market. I'm participating in other assets right now. All right, so just a very basic understanding, right? If you put like somewhere right around there, and let me just kind of point out the reason why I choose that level, or just point it out rather. I'm not necessarily choosing it, but if you pull up your weekly candles, you'll notice distinctive like activity is near that line. A lot of activity. Wicks here, wicks here. You got another candles buy to close above there until we start to get the actual weekly candles to close below that level. So that's what I always do. I try to find the level that has had the most activity, and that level is actually at $4,345. Okay, that's a previous level of support. Okay, so again, expect the markets to move lower, but again, if they do turn around, it had better be a big enough push to break through that first barrier to accomplish, in my book at least, to try and turn things around here. Okay, it has to be a sustainable move, guys. Very aggressive, and it has to happen quick. Okay. But again, all of this price action in terms of it just kind of, the battle between the two parties moving up, right? Moving up, right? And then down. They're just prolonging the inevitable, guys. There will be a vicious move to the downside, and I'm hoping I can participate. But the last thing, let's piggyback on our last video. I got a pretty interesting feedback when I was looking, and I just want to make sure that I'm very clear on what I was looking at. All right, so we got this low here, and then we have a higher low. I was referring to these two candles. So whenever I'm finding higher lows in the charts, and I think they were referencing on that video about me saying that these are not active candles. These candles have closed. Now, I'm not saying close to close. And even if you say it's a close to close, these two candles here, these two comparison candles, that is a higher low, technically speaking. So again, it is still a higher low on the previous close. Okay, right here on this candle, this is a higher low in comparison to this low. And that's all I look for. But I was not referring to that. I was referring to these two candles, and it is still a higher low according to the candle's bodies, not particularly just the close. I want to make sure that this verbiage is verified, or I want to stress the importance of this, because everyone doesn't look at the charts the same, and that's fine. But according to what I look for the candle's bodies, and I look for where did the candle's body close in comparison to the candle's body, right? The close in comparison to this close, in comparison to this candle's body. Okay, not necessarily close to close. That is important when finding patterns, right? Like, I guess bull flags or falling wedges, things of that nature. So I just want to make sure I specify that. It is a higher low according to the candle's bodies, according to where the candle closed, if that makes sense. All right, kind sir. Hopefully that made sense to you there and everyone else. So that's how we're going to, what do I think is going to happen? I'm still hoping that we get a push to the upside, guys. I've already outlined the levels. I think I was doing something like $4,400 price target. You can pull it up somewhere right around here, which I'm really hoping we get, because if we do get a move down, I want to participate in this, guys. I don't really want to be, not be participating in this. I think the stop out was 4,192. Somewhere right there. So even if you were actually doing that in your sim account, you didn't get stopped out yet, right? You still, you're probably down on that investment, but it's still active, and the stop out has not been hit. And I'm again hoping that we can get a push to the upside near the $4,400 level. All right, so let's see how today plays out. Hopefully this is enough information for everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So if you don't mind doing me a huge favor before you go, by simply leaving an appropriate thumb, I would appreciate it, below the video. You can also leave a comment so that the YouTube algorithm can promote the video. If you guys are new with us, we also explore Bitcoin, so you can kindly join us here on this interesting journey, and we'll send that out to you momentarily. Welcome in. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your time. Remember to always have a strategy before you enter. Keep that positive energy flowing. We'll talk soon, and bye for now, guys and gals.